So the Stanley Cup playoffs got a little bit more interesting for a man from St. Anne, and that man is standing right next to me, Norm Larocque. Norm, you got to go down to LA to see Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final Series with a guy, what's his name, Lanny McDonald.
Yeah,
you said it was a 3-day trip. Tell me about when you found out about it first.
Okay. Well, first of all, I entered online through Scotiabank's Scotia Hockey Club. It was just kind of on a whim that I did that, and ended up winning. And I got notified about a week before the event, and just totally thrilled. Found out I was going down with Lanny McDonald, who's a hockey legend, Stanley Cup winner, and so we got treated like gold when we left on Tuesday before the game. Flew to Calgary, picked up Lanny, flew with Lanny to LA. And Scotia was just outstanding. Rep from the NHL was outstanding. We got a surprise when we were there. We ended up at our hotel. They invited us into this room, and lo and behold, the Stanley Cup was there. And so we got an hour with the Stanley Cup alongside Lanny McDonald, telling us the stories. We got to hold the cup and take pictures with the cup. So that was a nice surprise that Scotiabank threw at us, and then it just got better and better. Didn't realize that we were going to spend all this time with Lanny, but we got to spend 3 days with him. We had meals with him. We had an exclusive tour that the NHL and Scotiabank arranged for us, and of Staples Center. So another surprise was we got to watch the LA Kings practice in the morning, and then basically had lunch with Lanny, and Lanny ended up going on NHL Live network for an interview and talk about Scotiabank and our family. So it was fantastic. And then the game.
And then there was the game on top of it.
And then the game. And the game was, we got to Staples Center early. Outside of Staples Center, which is LA Live area, was just unbelievable. We got to just hang out there, and then went to the game. And Lanny, he's such a great guy. He's a fantastic, down-to-earth guy, and I watched him sign hundreds and hundreds of autographs and pictures, and never refused anybody. So he's just fabulous, and the game was exciting. Lanny was excited too, because although he's won the Stanley Cup, he had never seen anybody get presented the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
So he was excited and hoping that LA would actually win, and we would get to see a Stanley Cup presentation. Didn't happen. New Jersey played really, really well, but all in all, the experience was a thrill of a lifetime, and I thank Scotiabank for that.
That would have been the cherry on top, just to see the Stanley Cup get presented, the very same one that you were holding a little bit earlier in the trip.
Actually, and the guy, who, Mike, who was the carekeeper of the Stanley Cup, said that we were the last people to see it before it gets presented, no matter what. Wow. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, no kidding. That little feather in your cap as well. Yeah. Speaking of caps, now, did you wear the Winnipeg Jets stuff when you were down there? Were you that committed? I did wear the Winnipeg Jets stuff, although we got given Scotia gave us, and the NHL provided us with LA jerseys. So to not cause any rifts, we wore the LA jerseys to the game. Friendly Manitoba, really.
Friendly Manitoba.
All in the same.
Exactly.
So I guess if you had to pick one of your favorite memories, I mean, you also were mentioning that you got to meet guys like Darren Pang and Doug Wade just because Lanny McDonald's friends with a lot of the former players. Yeah,
exactly. So that experience was amazing, because we did get to see all those things, and we met people, ex-NHL players, current NHL players, and it was a fabulous thing. But I guess the best part was just having my family there, being a longtime Scotiabank member, they treated us like gold. But being with Lanny and how down to earth he was, and he made my whole family feel like we were part of his family. So all in all, I'd say, it was a success from an exciting and a thrill of a lifetime, something I'll remember forever, from the beginning of it to the end of it.
Great memories from Norm Larocque for seeing Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final Series with Lanny McDonald. For Shaw TV, I'm Mitchell Clinton.